Where are we going, guys?
ITÄKESKUS, man. The weather when it's not sunny. And so it's become very lively and multicultural, so we'll see how it differs from the Helsinki-Ruoholahti city market.
If you're getting around in Finland, you can use the HSL app. And just like that, my ticket is ready to go.
Just another thing about the public transportation, you can use the same ticket for the metro, the bus, trains, the trams. Any public transportation uses the same ticket, and you can switch during your trip to any other forms of travel.
So we're just walking towards the metro station.
What do you call these in London?
Tube stations.
Yes, that's right.
We're just going down the escalator now. I'm gonna take the train. This is the station that actually band filmed their song in.
Yeah, Bomb Funk MC.
Bomb Funk MC. Well, what are your expectations of the coffee, the quality, the taste? What do you think? Obviously,
it smells like soap in here.
Yeah, it does. But season,
It's been cleaned, I guess.
Yeah.
Just clean.
episode 1, we had the best coffee. Episode 2, we had the worst coffee. Here we are, episode 3. It could go either way. What's your thoughts? How do you think this is going to go down?
I don't know. I would say that this area is maybe not so good as Ruoholahti, but I would be shocked if it's worse than what we tasted in Espoo. I mean, that was some of the worst coffee that was ever made. As long as it's fresh, I think we might be in luck.
I think the coffee's not going to be bad, but it's not going to be good either.
So you're thinking maybe we could have one of those mid-range coffees that perhaps we need to experience for once.
But also forgettable.
So would we have a forgettable experience, which compared to the last episode is a good thing, because that will forever go down in history as the worst coffee in Finland.
What brand of coffee? Correct myself.
That it's been so inconsistent the last 2 episodes.
I think it's going to be presidential.
So the same one we had in Espoo.
Yeah.
I'm going with Juhlamokka, which is actually one of the most common ones here in Finland.
Is this going to be the 1 year coffee that you guys are going to try?
Yeah, this is what we're talking about.
Okay. So
And I think what we need to do is we need to find out, ask management, and how's the process of coffee selection done?
Yeah.
Who's doing these selections, and how can we, as avid coffee drinkers, affect their decision making?
I think what's even more important for coffee is the freshness.
Sure.
I could buy a cheap coffee, and it could be made fresh and it could taste good. I could buy an expensive coffee, it could be sitting there for 12 hours and it could taste disgusting. So
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
it's part the brand and part how much do they care about their service. This is where perhaps CITYMARKET Ruoholahti absolutely nails it.
Yeah.
Because I went there today and it was great. Again, this is like my 5th time that I went there.
Yeah, they do stay on top of it over there in Ruoholahti, and I think the standard there is so high that I doubt we will see that anywhere else.
It's nice. Very nice station, which is this Siili. It's kind of not a rainy day, but it has been raining. It's quite great. Yesterday was, in the last episode, it was amazing. The sun was out, the sun was shining, people out and about, but you can see it's kind of a greyish day outside.
CITYMARKET is. I think we just made it to ITÄKESKUS. We're getting out the metro. We're going to check out CITYMARKET. Ooh, it's lively out here.
Definitely a very busy metro station, this one.
Yeah, ITÄKESKUS actually means east center, so the center of the east, so to speak. There's really nothing to see. It's mostly residential area.
Yeah. Well, I've been to ITÄKESKUS a number of times. I would say maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
But this was over the last 4 years. So whilst I've seen sprinklings of this place I'm interested to see what this place has to offer, especially the City Market, which I've never actually seen before. Can't wait to try the coffee. And again,
this is a new experience for all of us.
100%, yeah. And again, we don't even know if they will have a self-service coffee. We make the assumption every single episode. We're making a huge assumption that is keeping this concept, our series alive, is trying coffees that we don't even know exists. So here we go. It's a very nice,
already nice smells here. I think some good food is brewing somewhere. So on the right we have an S Market, but we are not going there because our destination is City Market, Sittari. And I think today Abs is going to try to use a bit of his Finnish and ask someone where is the Sittari.
Very lively, active place, very vibrant. That's definitely
just a good vibe.
Yes.
Just a good thing going out here.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're coming here for shopping, definitely feel that this is a very, like I said, vibrant and busy place, which is a nice atmosphere to have for a shopping complex. Hesburger is, am I right? Would I be right in saying that Hesburger is one of the most traditional Finnish burger places?
Yeah, it's basically a copy of McDonald's or Burger King, but maybe a bit more Finnish flavors and tastes blended in with burgers. So they're quite big here in Finland.
Rafi, have you tried Hesburger?
A couple times.
Just a couple of times, okay. Rafi is a man on the move, so if he's in the shop for just 2 seconds, he said he doesn't have business here. He was lying. He's got loads of appointments. He's trying to juggle, multitask. Okay, we've got McDonald's over here. Again, nice and busy. So I definitely want to ask someone, where's this Sittari? So
yeah, we kind of have to find someone who would maybe know the shopping mall, because there's a lot of people who are just passing by, maybe just shopping for clothes.
Yeah, I see an information desk. This time with a human.
Oh, information desk. Let's ask if she can be in the shop.
So here's the information desk. Moi. Missä on Sittari?
Tuosta pitää mennä vasemman puolesta käytävää suoraan ja siitä Kultajousen kohdalta kääntyy vasemmalle. Siitä alkaa Hansasilta ja se Hansasilta, kun vaan kävelette sen ihan loppuun saakka, niin se vie teidät suoraan sinne CITYMARKETin rakennukseen.
Joo.
Okei.
Elikkä vasemman puolesta käytävää Kultajousen kohdalta vasemmalle ja sitten vaan siitä suoraan, kunnes pääsette siihen toiseen rakennukseen.
Kiva. Kiitti paljon.
Joo, kiitos. Obviously, I had absolutely no idea what she said there. So, Fadi, tell us, man.
We actually kind of passed it.
Right.
We should have taken a turn earlier over a sort of glass bridge, so to speak. So bridge that had this indoor bridge. We could have walked for another 5 to 10 minutes in the wrong direction. So sometimes an info, serves a purpose.
There was a security guard just about 2 meters from the help desk, just staring at us when we asked the question. His spidey sense started to tingle.
Right. It is possible, but I do think it was the camera that kind of spooked him, but he didn't approach us, and we didn't get the lady on camera.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys actually heard what she said, but we're gonna take a left from here and off to the bridge.
So here we are crossing. This is the bridge, and this bridge smells like an airport. Like when you
Oh, you're going to you're going towards the bus that would take you to the plane.
Yeah, the bus.
That's a very similar
Yeah,
smell.
absolutely. Like I'm just getting flashbacks of going on holiday, and I'm on that bus.
You are on holiday.
I am. Sorry, I am on holiday.
But we're about to board CITYMARKET.
Well, since we're talking about boarding planes, so you've had lots of experiences drinking coffee on airlines such as Finnair. What is your experience?
Don't get me started on that. That is a whole new topic. But I will briefly mention.
Give us a little teaser on what's to come.
Okay, so Finnair, I started flying with Finnair in 2013. That was the first time I visited Finland. I've been coming here subsequently more, well, let's say 2 or 3 times a year. I'm not sure if there's ever been a year where I haven't come here, but I've sampled, you know, I've flown back in the days when Finnair used to give you coffees and teas just on the house. They used to give you something to eat as well.
The good old days.
The good old days, but then shortly after, all the big airlines like all the Star Alliance and One World Airlines stopped serving food. Finnair followed suit. Obviously, these airlines are trying to compete with, you know, the low-cost airlines such as EasyJet, Ryanair, etc. The flight that I just had last week to Finland from London, you're paying for your tea and your coffee, so that's no longer free. The coffee wasn't bad, it wasn't great, it was so-so, it's like what you would expect, but yeah, you have to pay for it now, and
and we're talking about what, 2-3 euros,
yeah,
I think,
yeah,
just a cup of coffee that's been sitting in a canister for quite a while, so
yeah,
it's not really the freshest of the fresh.
If you get a cappuccino, you're literally getting the powder sachet cappuccino, so again, it's not worth the money in my opinion.
Right, so what we have there is the year 2021 best service city market. So expectations just went through the roof, guys. Award for the best service. So
paras
palvelu diski. Diski
Right.
is like you know, like the fish counters.
Yes.
So the best service fish counters. Maybe it's talking about the products, but I do believe it's talking more about the service that's provided in these. So really high expectations now.
Okay, so we have the city market in sight just ahead of us.
Yes, this is a 24-hour city market as well, so you can come here in the middle of the night. Obviously, we're not here in the middle of the night. It would be quite actually interesting to be in ITÄKESKUS in the middle of the night, but
Yeah, that's a whole nother vlog.
yeah. But let's first check out, do they have a coffee machine?
So we're getting closer, guys. You know what, this
Getting
is,
anxious.
it's a very big shopping complex that's connected by bridges. That's almost quite disorienting, but here we are. Just have a look. This is a 24-hour city market. It's absolutely huge. It literally goes off into the horizon as far as the eye can see. So we're entering.
Man, and you got it on the left as well. Quite a bit of horizon that way. Ooh. Let's go directly towards the Phaser bread and pastries and see if we can find a coffee machine in that direction.
That's definitely been our strategy every time we're trying to find a coffee machine. We go towards the pastries.
Okay.
We are looking for the
I
coffee
do
machine.
see a coffee machine on our right. So what
There we
good
are.
luck. This was really quick.
So our strategy of going towards the breads and the buns actually worked. Here we
Wow.
are. This looks
one of our quickest ones. It says Pauli. Oh, this is sort of a special coffee machine.
Here we go.
Yeah, you got espresso cafe in New York and a espresso just a burrito.
Wow.
But these prices, I don't know if you can see them. They all start with a 2. So we have a €2 coffee, normal coffee, double espresso, americano, cappuccino, cafe latte. So
We're gonna have to give it a go because whilst this is not a €1 coffee, it's I guess the only one here. Maybe we could ask if, but it wouldn't really make sense for them to have a cheaper one in
No.
the same shop. So
surprisingly, this will be our most expensive coffee.
yeah, the most
From
expensive.
€1 to 1.30 to €2 coffee. But the good thing is, at least the beans look like they'll be grinded here.
Yeah.
Should be pretty fresh.
I think
So,
we're not going to have an issue with freshness.
No.
I worry about the milk side of things though, because whilst this is a machine, I think they have to either put powdered milk or fresh milk into the machine, and I don't know if the machine will keep it cool, but that will be obvious from the taste.
Good question. I do think this sushi section is part of that little cafe over there. If you can see.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they would have the milk there. We could go have a look before we start to pour. So no milk visible for.
I'm just wondering if there's any coffees available here for €1 or thereabouts, because they do have some further coffee machines, as you can see. Which,
yeah, they have small one for 180.
Yeah.
So technically it is a bit cheaper, 180. And there you probably see also the Sansi would be, which means just an extra cup. So Finns are quite avid drinkers, so sometimes you want to get another cup.
Wait, so you can pay for an extra cup for only €1?
Yeah, so you use the same cup. You come back and you say, I want another coffee, and they just pour it into the same cup, and that's just €1 extra.
Oh wow!
And that's very common in most gas stations.
Wow, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I think we will head back now to our main coffee machine
But
here.
there is an issue though. We
Right.
do not have milk.
So what I think is perhaps the machine gives you an option to pour milk from it. We might have to ask someone.
Oh, okay. They make you pay first.
They make you pay
No,
first.
This is absolutely different. This
Yeah.
is completely different.
No trust. Absolutely no trust.
No trust here.
See, we spoke about trust.
Which was not surprising.
Yeah, but we spoke about trust in episode 2,
Yeah.
where we referred to episode 1,
Yeah.
where in City Market Ruoholahti, they absolutely trust you. You can literally make the coffee and drink it straight away, and then you pay at checkout. And probably people forget to pay sometimes, and I don't think they care too much. But over in episode 2, when we were in Iso Omina, you had to pay for it straight away after you poured the coffee. So you didn't have the opportunity to shop around with it and sip it, knowing that you're trusted to pay later. And here we have something completely different, where you have to pay
Before you are able
before
to pour the coffee.
before you can even think about what coffee you want. Yeah, let's
Put
give it a
out
go.
my famous Nordea bank card. Actually,
So-
we've cut it out in most scenes.
Yeah.
Pop that in. Please select the product.
Okay.
And here we go. We're gonna try a normal coffee, and we're gonna see if they offer any milk. Voila! You were absolutely right. They offer the strength. How strong do we want it?
Uh-huh.
We're at medium, so on a scale of 1 to 5. Oh, they've cancelled my order since I haven't
Because
pressed
you
anything.
took too long.
Too long. But let's try to continue here and see
Yeah.
what happens. So are we going with medium? How much milk?
Let's do medium.
Medium as well. And everything all right?
Yep. What does this mean? Annos koko.
Annos koko, this is the size.
Right.
So you're going to get a 220 millimeter coffee. I don't think we can... Actually, yeah, hold on. Let's see, I think I have to put my card back in there. And now we can press start. And we press start. And here we are. See what happens.
Do we have to press this button?
No.
Okay.
We might have to press that button.
Transaction cancelled.
All right, that was a fail. Epic fail.
Epic fail.
All right.
Do you know-
I think I know what we need to do. I think I need to tap it again because there's the trust issue. Put it there and then tap it once more. Let's go ahead and try this again.
Are you happy with that cup that you didn't put there? Shall we use a new one?
Let's try that.
Since hygiene and all of that
Absolutely.
jazz.
Absolutely. I'm sure someone else came here and realized that.
You know what happened? Someone else came here, tried to make a coffee, transaction cancelled, and they just bailed.
Watch this. Pop it again. Authorizing. Absolutely.
You have to be authorized.
So you actually need to put your card twice in the machine. And here we are.
The milk is coming out first. Now the coffee. It has a flashing light, kind of like a police siren, because they don't trust you here. The police are on their way. Your coffee is ready. Nearly. A lot of commotion from this machine. All right, so I think that was robot language for pay up or the police is coming.
But let's have a look in the cup. It does look quite nice. You look in.
Yeah.
It does look more of a like a cappuccino vibe to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, this is the thing about, and I'm smelling that machine kind of coffee
Yeah.
smell. So yeah, I think we should just try it here.
We can do that. We need another cup.
Yeah. So we're gonna make another. Gonna have to
Split it into.
for the taste test. Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring, boys. It's too hot.
It is hot. It is very hot.
We could have a little stroll around.
Yeah, let's stroll and taste.
And here you are, Rafi.
So here we are. Very cappuccino-y. Even though this was what, the Americano?
This was the normal coffee.
Okay, a normal coffee.
Medium-sized coffee.
Yeah.
For €2. Okay, so we're talking about double the price in Ruoholahti, and you do have to pay up front, and you can confirm that you are actually buying it. So
Yeah, and they authorize.
quite a process, to be honest.
100%.
compared to,
I'm surprised they didn't ask me for identification.
yeah.
All right, so it feels very hot. It's a Paulig brand of coffee, which is again one of those. How would you call it? Like a luxury coffee brand? Maybe not luxury, but it's up there. It's well known.
Yeah, the New Yorker styled beans were
Yeah.
used for this coffee. So
Yeah. So it is hot in my hand. Smells great. You know, can't complain about the smell. It smells fantastic. Let's give it a taste while we pass the meat section. So
the award-winning.
I'm gonna have a few sips before I tell you what I think, because I think this is quite a complex coffee we have here, and I can't make up my mind straight away. So, Fadi, Rafi, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I hope I don't burn my tongue.
Your opinion it means everything to our viewers.
I think this is pretty good. I didn't expect it to be, but the machine was so new and modernized, and they've added all the special kind of tools to make the coffee even better. In other places, we don't afford that kind of machine. And plus the city market is a giant one. It's not huge, it's not small, it's not big. It's a giant.
Whatever you imagine it to be, it's not that. Don't worry about me for now. You tell them what you think.
So they put a lot of money in that coffee machine. That's why I think it's good. No, I don't think it's good. I know that it's good. Because the smell, first of all, I knew that it was already going to be good before I tasted the coffee, because the smell was so strong, and the freshness of the smell was so strong. So what do you expect from that, you know? It was good. But yeah, what about you? Have you already made up your mind?
Yeah, so initially it was very frothy, the coffee. You can see that it's now become quite flat. So if you drank it in the first 10 seconds, you may have a slightly different experience than if you waited 2 minutes or 3 minutes like we have. So drinking it, I've had a few sips already. I am getting that kind of sharp, tangy, citrusy note that, again, you would associate with either the beans are not fresh, so even though it ground the beans there in situ, I don't know how fresh the beans were to start with. So I'm getting a quite sharp, kind of bittery taste If I had this with maybe a donut or something, perhaps I wouldn't notice it as much, or if I had put sugar in there. But from me, I would say that I personally would give this 2 stars, 2 out of 5, and I'll tell you why. I'm not going to give it 1 because it's not like cardboard disgusting. However, it is not that great, and it's overpriced for €2.
Let's have a taste.
Tell us.
Here we are. Just gonna enjoy a good cup of coffee. Paid €2 for this. Put my credit card in twice. Suffered through a lot of pain and anguish to get to this stage. And here we are at this stage. Just gonna get a good sip while shopping. It does have a sharp, as Abzi was explaining to you guys earlier. It is quite sharp. It's not terrible. I would have maybe added an extra milk in here to sort of get that sharp taste away. So maybe the choice of medium milk was not the correct one. Maybe we should have added more milk. But yeah, it's not the best that we've had, but it's not the worst. So I'll go for 2.5 stars.
That's fair. That's fair. Rafi, out of 5, what do you give the coffee?
3.5.
3.5.
So this is a taste thing, right? Finns do like their coffee a little bit more bitter, maybe than British people do.
Yeah.
So you do have to take that into consideration. That maybe if you do like your coffee, and when I came to Finland and started working in Finland, I was very much a tea guy, and I'd always ask for tea during meetings. In the office, and what I noticed was it was sort of a burden to start making the cup of tea. Everybody had the coffee pot ready to go, so I started slowly getting into this coffee tradition, and what I noticed was that the coffee was almost always bitter.
Wow.
And I think that's part of the taste culture here as well with the coffee, so that's what you're tasting here, and maybe that's what's turning you, Abzi, a little bit off.
Yeah, so I haven't had the opportunity to get used to such tangy coffees that have been sitting there. The thing is about work is that the coffee is free at work, right? You're
Sure.
not paying for it.
Yeah.
So I'm paying, like, you paid, but a
Yeah.
customer is going to be paying for this coffee,
Yeah.
and therefore, in my opinion, you can't really expect it to be the work style of coffee. It has to be a little bit better. But I do get your point.
Yeah.
About that, the fact that you are accustomed to such terrible coffee. No, just joking, but. It's still going to be a 2 out of 5 for me, just because of the price point and the lack of trust element. And you know what it is? It's the machine. It looks so good, and you're expecting something amazing. I mean, just look at the setup. You even
are
have.
expecting something amazing.
Yeah.
The question is, for €2, we could have chosen other options. So we chose the normal kahvi, which is coffee in Finnish. You do have a double espresso, you have an Americana, we even have the cappuccino for €2.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, or the latte. So we could have done a sort of a switcheroo and gone with some special coffee, but this is sort of a direct comparison to other city markets, and that's what we're going for here. Because if we chose another coffee and it was better, and it was a cappuccino, then it wouldn't be very comparable to the others.
I think what I'm interested in, what the hell is a Wiener cafe?
Yeah, I didn't
Wiener
even
coffee.
want to say
You didn't want to
it out
mention
loud.
that,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
because
I skipped over it.
This is made for
Obviously.
kids. This video is made for families.
Yeah,
family friendly.
content.
Yeah. So what I think is interesting here as well is you have like a selection of chocolates which they're trying to upsell to you as you struggle to prove your ID to the police. When you get your coffee, you're being charged for they're upselling. So I feel like there's some heavy tactics being used here. You're getting drawn in. It looks modern. It looks nice. They don't trust you, and they want you to spend more money. So, again, I'm really set on my rating of 2 out of 5 for all of those reasons.
Let's go with a 2.
Yeah. So 2 it is. back on the train.
Yeah, on our way back, we started to think about some things that we experienced in ITÄKESKUS and the city market, and kind of realized that the machine was part of the cafe, and that's why I guess they were wanting us to pay there. So it's not actually city market getting those €2, but the cafe.
Yeah, like, well, do you think that they actually need to make it consistent? Do you think there's a point to having consistency, or do you think actually it doesn't really matter?
I think each city market is structured just a little different, and depending on the space, they obviously sort of outsource the space to cafes. Especially the last two that we've been to, there's clearly been a separate cafe there, and yeah, so.
Herttoniemi, viimeinen asema ennen A-vyöhykettä. Herttomies, sista stationen före zon A. Herttoniemi, last station before zone A.
Super loud.
Very loud. Personally, I don't mind if there's inconsistencies, but where there should be consistent is the quality and the freshness, and that's the most important part, which I feel like the last two definitely haven't got right, and that's where they need to improve. But that was episode 3. The next episode, obviously, we're going to go to a different city market. We're going to taste the coffee there.
The journey continues.
The journey continues. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1.1 million subscribers.
Yes.
Please do so if you haven't done so already. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care.
See ya. Peace.
Bye.